On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Nursing, welcome to the first pinning ceremony for graduates of the Master of Science in Nursing. I'm Dr. Ruth Stoltzfus, and I'm the director of the Master of Science in Nursing program here at Goshen College. The COVID pandemic has limited the number of people that we're allowed to include physically in this space, but we are so very glad that we can at least celebrate and honor the hard work that the 18 graduates in Cohort 12, XII, Cohort 12, have accomplished over these last 3 years. And we're glad that at least we can have a few people here in the sanctuary to join us, as well as our family and friends that are watching via live stream. A few logistics that I need to point out and to mention is that this ceremony is being recorded, and we will share the recording with the graduates when it becomes available to us. So it will be an MP4 file. We're excited about that. We ask that all guests remain in your seat until you are dismissed at the end of the ceremony. You're welcome to stand up and take pictures from where you are seated, but we just ask that you stay in your seated area. You are asked to keep your masks in place. The only people that have permission to remove them are those of us at whom we're at the microphone in order to facilitate the understanding of what we're saying. So you're asked to keep your masks in place, covering your mouth and your nose throughout the time that you are inside the building. Once you leave the building, you're welcome to remove your masks. After the graduates have been pinned, they will pose for a group photo up here in front. And again, you're welcome to take a picture from where you're seated. But we also have a professional photographer that will be taking photos, and we'll be sharing those photos with the graduates, and they can in turn share them with you. So again, we ask that you remain in your seat until you are dismissed at the end of that. Again, welcome family and friends that are gathered in this sanctuary, and welcome family and friends that are watching via live stream. We're delighted that you can participate in that way. Wish that you could be filling the sanctuary with the graduates and the faculty. Thank you for joining us in celebrating Cohort 12, the 2021 MSN graduates. Dr. Laura Wheeler will now introduce the faculty.
Hello. First, I would like to introduce Dr. Jewel Yoder. She is the chair of the Department of Nursing, and she is the program director for the RN to BSN program. Next is Gretchen Sauter. Gretchen is a teacher in the BSN program and the master's program for nursing. And you've met Dr. Ruth Stoltzfus, but she is the director of the NP program and the doctoral program. Mark Moyer, he teaches in the undergraduate program, and Beth Miller teaches in the undergraduate BSN and RN to BSN program as well. Dr. Dina Elizalde, Dina teaches in the Masters of Nursing program, and Susan Satiawan, who teaches in the undergraduate program and the master's program for nursing. And I'm Laura Wheeler, and I teach in the master's program and the doctoral program.
And I would also like to introduce our administrative assistant, Linda Kimple. please stand, Linda. Linda has done an amazing amount of work in putting this weekend together, in helping us prepare our cupcakes and just organizing. She does an amazing amount of work behind the scenes, and we are indeed indebted to the fine work that Linda does. Thank you, Linda. Okay, Cohort 12. Can you believe that this day has finally come? Yes, no. There are many, many memories from these last 3 years, but I decided to take this time to reflect on what you said in your interview. Your interview 3 years ago when you interviewed for the program. And I had the opportunity to interview each one of you at that time. I looked back at my notes to see what you said when I asked you a very specific question. And that question was, so, why do you want to be a nurse practitioner? And I was really, really happy that I don't think a single one of you said, well, because it'll get me off of my crappy shift, it will get me better pay. I don't think any of you may have felt that, but you didn't say it to me. Had you said it to me, you may not be sitting here. So this is how you answered that question of, so why do you want to be a nurse practitioner? One of you said, I would like to use my critical thinking abilities and assessment skills and provide care for my patients. Another one of you said, I want to know the why. Why certain meds or tests are the right ones, and I want to help my patients. Someone else said, I want the ability to have more hands-on in preventing certain issues that cancer patients encounter. I want to work closer with physicians in developing plans of care. Someone else said this, I have been disenfranchised. My goal is to help people from lower socioeconomic status to be heard. I want to do more than just tell my patients, take this pill. And you were talking so fast, I could hardly keep up with the words that you were saying, and your passion came through so very loudly. Another person said, to help people. Really, it's the same reason that I became a nurse. I work with a lot of patients who don't have enough education and don't know enough about preventative care or how to access health care. I want to help mold their care. Someone else said, when people have undiagnosed problems or lack of care, I think it is often due to a lack of education that is based on their individualized needs. Someone else said, I want to treat people with disabilities and disparities. People with disparities need an advocate, someone to help them get what they need. Another person said, I think I can do more for people than I am able to do as an RN. As a nurse practitioner, I will have the ability to teach my patients and do what needs to be done to keep my patients healthy. And finally, someone else said, I didn't want to be a nurse practitioner for a long time. I love being a bedside nurse, but I know that I want to get a graduate degree, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted leadership or education. After my first encounter with a nurse practitioner, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I know that I still want to do patient care, and being a nurse practitioner will let me do that. Do you recognize your words? I have a feeling that some of you would think, those are my words, and somebody else says, those are my words, because as you listened to what I was saying, as I was repeating your words, Did you hear themes? Did you hear themes in what you told me? I certainly did. I heard you talking about wanting to help your patients, that you wanted to do more for your patients than you felt that you're able to do as a bachelor's prepared nurse. And as a bachelor's prepared nurse, you can do a lot. You can do a lot for your patients, but you wanted to do more. Over the last 3 years of watching each of you learn and grow into the role of the nurse practitioner, one thing I am confident in, and that is that you are motivated by caring. You are motivated by caring for your patients and ensuring that they will receive the best health care that you can possibly provide, no matter where you're working. In some ways, these 3 years may seem like they have flown by, and at other times, maybe it seemed like this weekend would never come. I know that each of you have eagerly looked forward to this weekend, as have your faculty. Not because we want to get rid of you, but because we know that you're ready to go on and take the next step. So this weekend signifies another milestone in your professional careers. I also hope that some of you take the final step and get that doctoral degree, but that's another message for another time. Come and talk to me if you want to do your DNP right straight through, because you got this pattern now, right, of studying. Aren't you ready to just jump in and keep on going? But take a big breath, as big a breath as you can through those masks. Take a big breath. You have completed your last clinical hours. Woohoo! I mean, come on, guys. You've completed your last clinical hours. Maybe you're going to shout at this one. You've written your last papers. You've written your last papers, at least for your MSN degrees. You've taken your last test. Well, maybe not, right? I mean, there is another big test that you have to take, but except that one's not for a course grade. It's just going to allow you to practice as a nurse practitioner. So, take a big breath. Take a big breath. And for this weekend, allow your family that's here to support you and that's watching, allow your family and your friends to celebrate you. Allow them to celebrate you and this huge, huge accomplishment. You've worked hard. You have persevered through personal and professional challenges. Today you will be pinned, the symbol of a nursing accomplishment. Tomorrow you will be hooded, the symbol of an academic accomplishment. I am so proud of each of you. And when we had class on Tuesday, I remembered I really do like you. And I really have missed you because I've only seen little snippets on Zoom. I'm so proud of each of you. So now, let's do that nursing thing and get you pinned. Gretchen is going to call off your names, and I get to pin you. And Susan will anoint your hands if you choose to do that.
Amy Brown. Allie Bushong. Heather Calkins. Jason Clay. Susan Derrickson. Bob Fiedler. Heather Gordy. Judith Huff. Beth Jones. Janie Keene. Shawnee Seward. Ashley Warlowski. Sorry.
Hi, everybody. It's been a privilege and an honor to work with each and every one of you during your journeys through your master's program. And I would like to impart a blessing upon all of you as you face your graduation tomorrow. You have worked hard and you have accomplished much, and your reward is at hand. The virtues of hard work, humility, charity, and brotherly love are transformative, and each and every one of you has practiced these and has been transformed over the last 3 years. This will be so helpful for you in the future with your personal growth, with your patients. They are going to place their lives in your hands, trust you completely with their biggest vulnerabilities. And this is a privilege. A huge privilege to be kept sacred. Remain humble, remain charitable, do everything in brotherly love. Practice humility with the realization that all the gifts you have are gracious gifts given to you by God. Humility in your practice is going to bring openness and inner peace when it's not always easy, especially in the beginning when the fears of being a new nurse practitioner present themselves most days when you go into work. I promise that gets better. Allow yourselves to mourn with your patients. Jesus said, "Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted." And your patients will find comfort in your willingness to share in their sorrows and their successes. And you will be rewarded with the most unforgettable relationships when you allow yourselves to be vulnerable with your patients and let them trust you with their emotions. Practice with gentleness and kindness. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." One who is meek exhibits self-control. And there are going to be times in your practice where you are going to be challenged, but peace will be forthcoming if you can remain gentle and kind in your approach to confrontation. Be courageous in seeking justice for your patients. You are their advocates in the most important aspect of their lives, their health. You have nothing if you haven't have health. A continued desire for justice and moral perfection will bring you an immense sense of fulfillment and peace. And finally, in all things, practice mercy, love, compassion, and patience with those who are suffering. In Matthew 25, Jesus reminds us, "Whatever you did to the least of my brethren, you did also to me." You have chosen a wonderful career of servanthood. In all things you do, emulate the love of God, remain pure of heart, and the Lord is going to bless you with wonderful and perfect peace in your practice. I pray that the Lord blesses and keeps you, makes his face shine upon you, and is gracious unto you. Congratulations. You all are welcome to meet with your graduate out in the lobby. They are going to process out the door back here and grab a cupcake on your way out. And we ask you to wait until they're out of the room, and then you can go out and find them for pictures. Thank you very much for coming.